When we talk about being soft, it's not about lacking kindness, empathy, or compassion. Those qualities are crucial in every relationship and encounter, whether personal or professional. However, there is a point where being too accommodating, too agreeable, or overly cautious starts to hold us back rather than help us grow. This idea of being soft speaks to a mentality of avoiding discomfort, conflict, or hard truths. And when we live in that mindset, we allow ourselves to slip into complacency. We start making decisions based on what's easiest in the moment rather than what will actually benefit us or others in the long run. We all know someone who rarely says no, who always prioritizes other people's needs above their own, and who goes out of their way to avoid confrontation. Maybe that person is us. At first glance, there's nothing wrong with it. It seems considerate and polite. But constantly avoiding conflict or discomfort, always trying to please others at the expense of what we truly think or feel, is a slippery slope. In trying to protect ourselves and others from uncomfortable situations, we often end up compromising on what really matters to us. When we let being soft dictate our lives, we're sacrificing authenticity, self-respect, and ultimately our own growth. Think about the goals you've set for yourself or the values you believe in deeply. How often do we allow these values to guide our decisions? Or are we letting our fear of being seen as harsh, selfish, or too much get in the way? True strength, the kind that commands respect, not fear, comes from having integrity and standing up for what's right. That's not possible when we're always choosing the path of least resistance. Being too soft is more than just being overly kind or empathetic. It's about letting our lives be directed by our fears and insecurities. We start to live according to other people's expectations, rather than pursuing what's meaningful to us. When we think about people we admire, those who have left a lasting impact, we don't often remember them for their willingness to please everyone. We remember them because they stood by their principles, took risks, and had the courage to stand alone when necessary. They weren't concerned with being liked by everyone or making every interaction smooth and comfortable. They understood that real respect is earned through conviction, not by bending to every whim. They weren't unkind, but they were firm, clear, and willing to accept that not everyone would agree with them. When we become overly concerned with being soft, we lose that conviction, that firmness of purpose. The truth is, in life, we are bound to face discomfort, opposition, and sometimes conflict. That's part of growth. When we avoid these challenges in the name of keeping the peace or being easygoing, we're stunting our own development. We deny ourselves the opportunity to build resilience, to become more confident, and to learn from difficult experiences. Growth doesn't come from playing it safe. It comes from facing situations that test us, that push us to expand our limits, to confront what we're afraid of, and to learn from it. If we are too busy trying to smooth out every rough edge, we'll miss out on those moments that can truly shape us. Now, some might say that this approach sounds aggressive or even unkind, but that's a misconception. It's not about going around challenging everyone or being confrontational. It's about having a clear sense of self-respect and understanding what you stand for. When you're clear about who you are and what you believe in, you don't need to back down from your convictions just to be liked. Being firm doesn't make you less compassionate or empathetic. In fact, when you have a strong foundation in who you are, it allows you to approach others with genuine respect and understanding because you're not worried about bending over backward to win their approval. Consider this: if you always say yes, even when you want to say no, you're not being authentic. You're not giving people the chance to know the real you because you're hiding behind a facade of agreeableness. You're putting a mask over your true thoughts, feelings, and desires, and while that might make things easier in the short term, it ultimately leads to resentment, not just from others who might sense the lack of authenticity, but from yourself. You start to feel disconnected from your own values, and over time, that can lead to a sense of frustration or even bitterness. You start to feel like you're just going through the motions because in a way you are. Breaking free from this soft mindset doesn't mean you have to become hardened or insensitive. It simply means that you allow yourself to be guided by your true beliefs and principles, rather than what you think others expect from you. When you stop trying to please everyone, you're free to pursue what genuinely excites and fulfills you. You'll find that people will start respecting you more because you're not afraid to speak your truth. You're not afraid to set boundaries. You're not afraid to say no when it's necessary. Think of this approach as tough love, not just for others, but for yourself. We all need a little push sometimes to step outside our comfort zones. We all need that reminder that growth isn't always comfortable or easy. And that's okay. When you stop being soft, you give yourself permission to live with purpose and integrity. You stop holding yourself back. You stop letting fear dictate your actions. You start showing up as your true self, unafraid of what others might think. And that's where real strength lies. Start standing up for your beliefs, your time, and your values. Don't let the fear of discomfort or disapproval control you. Embrace the challenges, the discomfort, and the growth that come with living authentically. It's not about being hard or unkind. It's about being real, being strong, and being true to who you are. When you live this way, you'll find that not only do you earn the respect of others, but you also gain a profound sense of respect for yourself. And that, above all else, is what will drive you to reach new heights and lead a truly fulfilled life. When we constantly put others' needs and expectations above our own, we start to lose touch with our true values and desires. This tendency to please others often stems from a fear of conflict, rejection, or being seen as selfish. While this approach may create temporary harmony, it leads to a subtle form of self-neglect that accumulates over time, causing frustration, resentment, and even burnout. Pleasing others at the expense of ourselves is unsustainable. Each time we compromise our own needs or values to accommodate someone else, we're chipping away at our own authenticity. Instead of expressing our true thoughts or standing up for our principles, we hide behind agreeableness. Over time, this habit can make us feel invisible, like we're merely existing to fulfill others' expectations rather than living with purpose. This self-sacrifice doesn't foster genuine connections. Rather, it creates relationships built on a false foundation, where we feel we must perform a role rather than be who we truly are. Learning to set boundaries and prioritize our needs isn't selfish. It's a way to ensure we're living authentically. When we're honest about our limits and aspirations, we give ourselves the chance to grow and thrive. This honesty actually benefits those around us too, as it fosters respect and establishes healthier, more balanced relationships. People often respect those who are firm yet compassionate and who live by their values without constantly yielding to others. Breaking free from the habit of constant people-pleasing can be challenging, but it's a crucial step toward leading a fulfilling and authentic life where we can be of true value to ourselves and those we care about. Saying yes to others often feels like the path of least resistance. We agree to plans we're not excited about, take on extra work, or meet others' needs to avoid disappointing them. It's natural to want to help or make people happy, but when we do this habitually, we risk putting our own priorities on the back burner. The more we say yes to everyone else, the less time, energy, and focus we have to invest in our own goals and passions. Saying yes to yourself, on the other hand, means honoring your needs, values, and goals. It's about acknowledging your worth and giving yourself permission to prioritize what matters most to you. This can mean declining requests, setting boundaries, or choosing solitude over social obligations when it's right for you. It's not selfish, it's self-respect. When you say yes to yourself, you create space for growth, for fulfillment, and authentic joy. Balancing these yeses isn't always easy, especially if we're used to people-pleasing or are worried about disappointing others. But with practice, we learn that saying no to something that doesn't serve us is actually saying yes to a life that aligns with who we truly are. By being selective about our commitments, we preserve our energy for things that genuinely fulfill us and build the life we want, rather than one shaped by others' expectations. This shift ultimately brings more meaning, purpose, and balance into our lives, allowing us to show up for others in ways that are sincere and sustainable. Living authentically means embracing and expressing who we truly are, without the need to mask our values, beliefs, or personality to fit into others' expectations. When we live this way, we're guided by a clear sense of self rather than by the pressure to please, conform, or avoid conflict. Authenticity requires courage. It involves making decisions aligned with our values, even when they might not be popular or easily accepted by those around us. It's about honoring our own voice and allowing it to direct our path, rather than bending to meet everyone else's comfort. People tend to respect those who are genuine, because authenticity fosters trust. When others see that we're consistent, transparent, and not swayed by the need for approval, they feel they're interacting with someone reliable and real. Living authentically also sets an example, encouraging others to be more open and true to themselves. It creates a dynamic of respect and mutual understanding where we're appreciated for who we truly are, not for a facade we maintain. Authenticity isn't about rigidly asserting our way in every situation. It's about striking a balance between staying true to our beliefs and remaining respectful of others. By living this way, we naturally command respect, not by demanding it, but by embodying a sense of integrity and self-worth that others recognize and appreciate. Over time, living authentically helps us build relationships based on mutual respect and understanding, creating a life rich in purpose and deeper, more meaningful connections. Gaining self-respect and a sense of purpose starts with recognizing and harnessing our inner strength. When we cultivate strength, not just physical or external, but mental and emotional resilience, we build a foundation of self-trust and confidence. Strength here means having the courage to pursue what's meaningful, make difficult choices, and stand firm in our values, even when doing so is uncomfortable or goes against the grain. By repeatedly choosing what aligns with our beliefs, we reinforce a sense of self-respect that cannot be shaken by others' opinions or expectations. Strength also enables us to establish healthy boundaries, to say no when necessary, and to pursue paths that challenge us rather than settling for what's easy or familiar. Each time we face adversity with resilience, we learn something valuable about ourselves, which contributes to a greater sense of purpose. Through these experiences, we begin to understand not only our capabilities, but also our unique contributions to the world. This kind of strength empowers us to live with purpose because it clears away the distractions of self-doubt and fear. With a solid base of self-respect, we're less likely to seek validation from external sources and more likely to be guided by our internal compass. Living with purpose becomes a natural extension of living with integrity and courage. This alignment with our values and goals creates a fulfilling and directed life, one where we can truly respect who we are and the journey we're on. In the end, strength fosters a self-respect that drives us toward a life filled with authenticity, resilience, and meaning. Embracing tough love is about holding ourselves accountable and facing the difficult truths that often lead to meaningful growth. It's a balance between self-compassion and self-discipline, where we push ourselves to step out of our comfort zones and face challenges rather than avoid them. Tough love isn't about being harsh or overly critical. It's about challenging ourselves to meet our own potential, even when it's hard. When we practice tough love, we set standards for our own behavior and choices, refusing to settle for excuses or complacency. This approach to self-growth requires honesty and a willingness to confront our weaknesses. It means acknowledging when we've been avoiding responsibility or shying away from change. Instead of comforting ourselves with easy affirmations or empty reassurances, we ask the difficult questions: am I truly working toward my goals? Am I being honest with myself about my efforts? Am I willing to face the discomfort of growth? Tough love builds resilience and cultivates a mindset of continuous improvement. Rather than allowing setbacks to define us, we learn to see them as opportunities to learn and strengthen ourselves. By challenging ourselves in this way, we grow stronger, more capable, and more confident in our ability to handle life's obstacles. In embracing tough love, we become more self-reliant and empowered, gaining a sense of pride in our progress and a deep respect for the person we're becoming. Ultimately, this approach drives us towards self-mastery, helping us achieve a version of ourselves that we can genuinely admire. Avoiding discomfort is a natural response. We instinctively seek comfort and stability because they feel safe and predictable. However, when we make avoiding discomfort a habit, we start to limit our own growth and potential. Discomfort is often a signal of change, of pushing boundaries, and of confronting fears or weaknesses. These experiences, while challenging, are precisely the ones that lead to learning, resilience, and self-improvement. When we shy away from discomfort, whether it's difficult conversations, trying something new, or setting boundaries, we miss valuable opportunities for growth. Growth isn't found in doing what's easy or familiar. It's found in navigating the unknown and confronting obstacles. By avoiding discomfort, we hold ourselves back from developing new skills, gaining confidence, and expanding our capabilities. Embracing discomfort teaches us that we're capable of handling more than we think. It builds resilience and shows us that discomfort is temporary and manageable. Over time, facing discomfort head-on reshapes our mindset. We become less fearful of the unknown and more willing to take risks. This shift not only propels personal growth, but also empowers us to pursue our goals more authentically and courageously. Instead of letting discomfort hold us back, we can view it as a stepping stone toward a stronger, more fulfilled version of ourselves. Being firm without losing compassion is about standing by our values, boundaries, and decisions in a way that respects both ourselves and others. It's a balanced approach that combines strength with empathy, allowing us to communicate our needs clearly and assertively without becoming unkind or dismissive. When we're firm, we show people that we respect our own boundaries and priorities. We become someone who can be relied upon to mean what we say, which builds trust and credibility. However, firmness does not mean harshness. It's entirely possible to maintain compassion while being resolute. When we communicate assertively but with understanding, we acknowledge others' perspectives and emotions even as we hold our ground. This balance can be especially important in situations where emotions run high or when someone might disagree with us. Compassionate firmness allows us to handle these moments with grace, avoiding unnecessary conflict while staying true to our principles. This approach also models a healthy way to handle differences for those around us. It shows that boundaries aren't a rejection of others, rather, they're an essential part of self-respect and respectful relationships. By practicing compassionate firmness, we cultivate stronger relationships based on honesty and mutual respect, creating an environment where both parties feel valued and understood. In the long run, this combination of strength and empathy deepens our connections with others while allowing us to live authentically and confidently. Growth inherently involves stepping outside our comfort zones and facing challenges that push us beyond what we already know or can easily accomplish. Challenges are uncomfortable because they often reveal our limitations, whether in skill, resilience, or confidence. But it's in meeting these challenges head-on that we develop the qualities we need to succeed and improve. Each time we confront a difficulty, be it a complex problem at work, a tough personal decision, or a fear we've long avoided, we are presented with an opportunity to learn something valuable about ourselves. Facing challenges builds resilience, teaching us that we're capable of adapting to and overcoming adversity. It allows us to develop problem-solving skills, strengthen our resolve, and grow in self-confidence as we overcome each new hurdle. Challenges are what force us to expand, to think differently, to work harder, and to find strengths we didn't know we had. When we avoid challenges, we're also avoiding these moments of learning and self-discovery, and we remain stagnant, confined by the boundaries of our comfort zone. Growth through challenge also encourages humility and persistence. Not every challenge will be overcome immediately, and not every failure means defeat. In the process, we learn to persevere, to take setbacks in stride, and to view obstacles as valuable parts of our journey. Ultimately, by facing challenges, we not only grow in skill and knowledge, but also in character. This continuous engagement with life's tests builds a deep sense of self-respect and prepares us to take on even greater opportunities in the future, enriching our lives and expanding our potential. As we wrap up today, remember that the journey of growth, strength, and self-respect is ongoing. Every challenge you face, every time you choose to stand firm, every moment you say yes to yourself and embrace the discomfort, you are building the person you are meant to become. The path may not always be easy, and there will be times when you feel uncertain or tempted to give in. But always know that these moments are the very ones that will shape you into a stronger, more resilient individual. You have within you the power to push past limitations, to honor your true self, and to cultivate a life of purpose. So I encourage you to be brave in the face of adversity, to set boundaries, to stand by your values, and to stop letting fear or the desire to please others hold you back. Embrace the discomfort, for it is in those moments that the most profound growth happens. Live with authenticity, gain respect from within, and always choose the path that aligns with who you truly are. The journey may not be smooth, but it is through the challenges, the discomfort, and the tough moments that you will discover your greatest strengths. Don't be afraid to push yourself, to grow, and to rise above the small fears and doubts that try to keep you where you are. Because when you stop being soft and start living with purpose and strength, you will find that your potential is limitless. Thank you for taking the time to reflect on this, and I trust that you will leave here today more determined than ever to live authentically and grow through the challenges ahead.